Chris is out there fixing stores for us. He's a coach, so he's coaching, and then he's traveling a lot fixing stores. But one of the things that he brings to the table is he's kind of on our team. He's one of the guys that can kind of think of ways to do things. He definitely sees the opportunity before he sees the obstacle. Like, he sees an obstacle as an opportunity a lot of times. And one of his experiences in his career was he was employee, was it 460?
Yeah, something like that. Like
460 for Tesla. So at the very beginning of Tesla launching and trying to have a network across the country,
yeah,
you were a part of that. So what made you were a tech at the time, right?
Correct.
So were you a BMW tech?
Yes.
BMW tech, and then Tesla recruited you?
Mm-hmm.
How did they find out about you?
You know, I don't know exactly how they found out about me. They got a few BMW techs kind of in the area because I knew other BMW techs that had also been approached by him. Yeah, yeah. So they were. So
they approach you and they say, "We have this position." Mm-hmm. What was the position called?
Regional Technician 2.
Regional Technician 2. What does the 2 stand for?
You had to be a certified master tech for that position. So to be in the field, you had to have a certain level of credentials already. So they
didn't care that you were a master BMW tech?
No. Mm-mm.
Just as long as you'd been a master, then you...
Yeah, and you had to, if I remember right, you had to have all your ASEs also. So I think it was also probably because I was an ASE master tech as well as a BMW certified, So
they recruit you. Mm-hmm. How are you married at the time?
Yeah.
You're married. So what do you tell your wife when you're making that decision? Like, this new company, Tesla, that, could have made it or not made it, right? You didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably a good thing. She didn't probably know a whole lot about Tesla at that time.
She wasn't reading the news?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was on her radar at all. Now, there was a lot of people that were telling me, you're crazy. Like, they've made 150 cars and
good luck.
They're hemorrhaging money, all of that. But no, I mean, I jumped in with both feet. Just thought it was something neat, something different. I was kind of looking for a new challenge, and I of course knew a lot about Tesla and read about them, but they weren't on my radar at all as far as me seeking them out to go get a job with them.
So if they wouldn't have headhunted you, you would have never. You would have never made the change. Okay, yeah. So then you decide to take it, and then what happens? Do they fly you to Silicon Valley? Or
yeah. So I go out there, and it's kind of a funny story. It was strange because I'm working one Friday, and then I was like, when do you want me to start? And they're of course like, yesterday. And so I'm working at BMW one Friday, and then the next Monday I'm flying out for new hire orientation, and I get there, and I got hired on in like May, June. So my orientation, I walk in and there's other people there, and I don't think anything about it, and I'm a little bit more of a reserved personality. So where do I sit?
In the back.
In the back, right? And so the first thing we do is their CTO, JB, introduces himself and like welcomes us all in and everything.
Now, is he doing the orientation, or he just comes in and says hi?
No, there's like HR people and stuff doing the orientation, but he's kind of like the keynote rah guy, like launches it off and
he's kind of the systems guy for Elon. Elon's the visionary.
Yeah,
he's kind
for
of
sure,
system guy,
for
right?
sure. So he's one of the founders and really behind the scenes and a lot of the nuts and bolts on the engineering side, and really is the one accountable for all that stuff, making it to market and working properly and all that stuff. So for sure. But yeah, it was funny. So he has everybody go around the room and introduce themselves and where they're from and all that stuff. And I had no idea, but the time of year I was hired, like I said, was like late May, early June. And so this whole new hire orientation is full of summer interns for the various engineering departments within Tesla, which of course at this time they're kind of an up and coming, cutting edge company. So it's a really highly sought after internship. So they're going around the room and it's like, somebody from a master's program at MIT and Stanford and all this stuff. And then they make it all the way back to me back in the corner. And, I'm like, I'm a mechanic from Oklahoma, and
I went to STEP.
Yeah, I went, BMW STEP class of 2000. Yeah, it was kind of entertaining, but sobering at the same time. Here I am, taking this new adventure with a whole different group of people. So that was kind of like my first introduction to Tesla, and so there's this element of excitement. A little bit of fear if I don't belong here, this is, above me or something.
You felt like you were in over your head a little bit?
Yeah. In that setting, especially with all these, really intelligent people in there, and but I was excited to be there nonetheless, and kind of figure it out. So
then, what's the role that you're doing then? So you're a tech, but you're kind of a mobile tech, right?
Yeah. So at the time there was 8 of us or so
for the whole country,
across the country. Yeah. So there's a couple dealerships. So the dealership that I guess you could call my home store was in Chicago, and that's where my direct report was. And then there was one in Menlo Park, just a few miles from the Palo Alto headquarters, and just a handful of other.
So how
actual
many units are they
service
selling a month then?
I don't know, a month. Worldwide, I think they had 23 or 2,400 cars on the ground, roadsters. Something like that.
So they're selling 100 a month nationally or something, right?
Yeah, maybe.
They can't make that. They couldn't make that many at that point. Right?
No. And I think there was big ebbs and flows with that, with production, right? And all the challenges they had with that.
So would you have guessed back then that they would be selling as many cars as they are now?
No.
You wouldn't have?
No, I don't think so.
Did you think it was going to tank?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to tank. I thought at that time, you had Daimler and Toyota, $55 million at a time. Yeah, putting money in, and and so I thought at that time that it would end up with all the manufacturers that seemed to be jumping in, and particularly Toyota was heavily involved in getting the having Tesla get the RAV4 electric up and going and all that it would end up.
Is the RAV4 have the Tesla technology?
I don't think it ultimately did. I think they helped develop some of it, and I know there was a prototype with Tesla stuff in it. But since then, it's kind of interesting, because since then the manufacturers, now that Tesla has kind of sprouted into their own, they've all backed away. So Tesla, as of a year or two ago, Tesla and Toyota are completely separated. Toyota sold off all their ownership.
Funny, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this clip of Service Drive Revolution. Now you can catch the full episode on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify, or wherever you consume your podcasts. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when we post new episodes. I'm Chris Collins, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Bulldog Collins. And I'll see you again on the next episode.